There is a state park unlike any other hidden deep inside Missouri. A vast 4,294 acres of stunning landscape and adventure make up Roaring River State Park. Imagine scuba diving in the spring waters that are so transparent you can see your reflection in them. This is a truly thrilling and unusual scuba diving experience. The wonder and beauty of Missouri's natural scenery are beautifully displayed in this park, which is a true jewel. The depths of Roaring River State Park conceal a terrible tale about a diver who perished while exploring the park's springs. It serves as a warning that even the most picturesque and tranquil settings can harbor peril. The tragic account of this diver's passing serves as both a sobering lesson and a stark reminder of how unpredictable the world can be. On July 3, 1995, Eric Hahn was born in Charlottesville, Virginia, and showed early aptitude for math and engineering. He was chosen to participate in Albemarle High School's famous MESA, Math, Engineering Science Academy, program and was a member of the coveted F.I.R.S.T Robotics Team 619. Eric pursued a degree in computer engineering at Virginia Tech because he had a strong desire to learn more. He got a position as a software engineer for Torque Robotics, a business at the forefront of self-driving technology, but his thirst for knowledge didn't end there. But helping people was Eric's actual calling. He devoted his life to protecting others while volunteering for the Blacksburg Volunteer Rescue Squad as a member of Technical Rescue and an advanced EMT. Eric loved excitement and adventure in his free time. He was a member of the Virginia Tech Scuba Club and the vice president of the National Speleological Society's VPI Cave Club. He was scheduled to complete a difficult dive in the Roaring River State Park's cave network on October 22, 2022. As a member of the KISS Brothers Cave Diving Squad, he was scuba diving. They went diving with the intention of making a documentary, mapping the cave system in 3D and exploring its depths. It's thought to be the continent's deepest system of caves. Eric Hahn and his diving friend were about to take on their toughest task in the mysterious dark cave. They had a plan, which called for them to scuba dive into the cave's depths and install safety tanks along the navigational line that had been fixed inside the cave in preparation for a dive the following day. The darkness was oppressive, and the pressure was great as they plunged into the sea. However, Eric and his partner had no fear because they were bound and determined to succeed in their task. When they got to a depth of 70 feet, 21 meters, they clipped 4 tanks to the line and descended again to a shallow depth, but they didn't leave the water. Eric and his partner were fully aware of the peril that lay ahead as they started their descent once more. The pressure increased as they neared 190 feet, 58 meters, but they were adamant on getting there. It was evident that they were in the company of true professionals when they passed another pair of divers who were ascending towards the surface. The crucial time had arrived when they finally ascended to a height of 190 feet, 58 meters. After successfully completing the first stage of their mission, Eric Hahn and his diving partner encountered an unexpected change of events. At around 11:25 a.m., 5 minutes into the dive, a diver felt his partner, Eric, brush into him as he was about to surface. Eric now started to worry and swam straight up, hitting the ceiling of the cave. When the diver noticed that Eric was in trouble, he went to help him, but Eric persisted in trying to swim straight up. At about 165 feet, 50 meters, the diver grabbed Eric after noticing that he was screaming. Eric appeared to be attempting to remove the mouthpiece from his brother. The diver grabbed a bailout first stage regulator that was around Eric's neck and put it in his mouth in an effort to save him. A bailout first stage regulator that was around Eric's neck was suddenly taken by his friend and put in his mouth. Eric's body had already started to seize, and he was not responding. Therefore, it was too late. The terrible outcome was that they both fell to the cave floor, which was 201 feet, 61 meters, below the surface, despite the companion's efforts to manually purge the regulator to assist Eric in breathing. His friend realized they needed to move quickly because Eric was immobile and unable to be moved. To help them move off the cave floor, he tried to blow up both of their buoyancy compensators, but it was useless. He swam to the surface to get further assistance in an effort to save his comrade. Every second now mattered in the fight against time since Eric's life was on the line. He desperately swam to the surface in order to find aid, making signals along the way, while Eric's companion kept ascending and made contact with a different diver at a depth of 40 feet, 12 meters. Another diver rapidly descended to try and locate Eric. As time was running out, Eric's companion took the desperate decision to go back into the cave, knowing that every second counted. He was aware that Eric's life depended on his ability to act quickly. He returned to the cave's deep black depths, his heart pounding as he neared the 150-foot, 46-meter mark. He ran into the other diver who had been looking for Eric there. Together, they battled the dangerous weather and scarce air supply while looking for Eric. The darkness made it practically hard to see the cave, which was a labyrinth of winding passageways and sharp rocks. But they persisted because they were determined to save their pal. But despite their best efforts, nothing was accomplished. Lost was Eric. When the two divers finished their decompression stop and surfaced, the reality of their predicament hit them hard. They had lost a teammate, a buddy, and a fellow diver. Under the direction of the Missouri State Highway Patrol, the KISS Rebrether dive team started the solemn chore of retrieving Eric's body as the sun started to set. The squad was adamant about recovering their lost buddy from the depths, despite the fact that it was a risky and challenging assignment. As they looked for Eric's body, they went deeper into the cave, their hearts heaving with sorrow. After hours of searching, they eventually discovered Eric's corpse and equipment at an incredible depth of 201 feet, 61 meters. Due to the lengthy decompression stops needed, the team was aware that it would be difficult to get Eric's body back to the surface. At a depth of 70 feet, another group of divers received Eric's body, 21 meters. Once back on solid ground, Eric's body was turned over to the Barry County coroner, and his gear was given to the police. As the team bid farewell to one of its own, it was a trying and emotional time. Investigations showed that Eric's unfortunate drowning was probably caused by a number of reasons. At first, it was thought that equipment failure was to blame, but a closer look at Eric's tools and air tanks revealed a different tale. The potential contributing circumstances to his death were described in a supplement report. According to the study, a technical estimate based on the oxygen content of the dive tank and the depth revealed that the gas inside a tank at Eric's left side contained an approximate 26% oxygen mix. This combination went deeper than his maximum operational depth during the dive, which contributed to his demise. They were aware of the dangers of going deeper than a certain point as Eric Hahn and his colleagues delved deeper into the enigmatic Roaring River State Park cave. Divers who go deeper than that risk developing oxygen toxicity of the central nervous system, or CNS. When divers breathe in large amounts of oxygen, this happens, and the symptoms can be very bad. Convulsions of the limbs, hyperventilation, difficulties keeping one's depth constant, migraines, and visual disturbances are a few examples of these symptoms. Later it was discovered that CNS oxygen poisoning was one of the causes of his demise. It became obvious as the inquiry into Eric Hahn's sad drowning in the Roaring River State Park cave progressed that a number of variables had played a role in his unfortunate demise. Investigators looked into Eric's dive computer and found that he was injecting little amounts of 100% oxygen to his rebrether unit during the dive. This was one of these factors. The study indicated that this led to a rise in his partial pressure of oxygen, which changes with depth throughout a dive and is monitored and corrected by adding oxygen or diluent gas on rebrether devices. His partial pressure of oxygen increased to an astounding 1.8 ATA, or atmospheres, at a depth of about 190 feet, 58 meters, when Eric entered the cave deeper, going beyond his maximum operational depth and added more oxygen to his red weather. According to the patrol papers, this partial pressure likely caused the convulsions and seizures that are indicators of CNS oxygen intoxication. Another contributing factor was discovered as the inquiry into Eric Hahn's death in the Roaring River State Park cave advanced. Nitrogen narcosis is that, at greater depths, a condition known as nitrogen narcosis can emerge, which can impair judgment and cause fine motor skill loss in divers. Helium is frequently added to divers' dive mixtures as a preventative measure to lessen nitrogen exposure and narcosis. But as the inquiry into Eric's death showed, the oxygen and helium mixture in the tank on his left side was measured at 26.9%. The absence of helium in the gas combination could have led to narcosis at or before the depth of 190 feet, 58 meters, impairing his judgment and finally resulting in his untimely death. A man who thrived on adventure and pushing the limits of exploration was Eric Hahn. He discussed his love of cave diving with a KSMU reporter just 2 months before his terrible demise. He described his responsibilities on the dive team, which included gathering cave creatures for research and repeatedly going past the restriction point. He discussed the excitement of cave diving in the interview, saying, "You know, fewer people have ever visited the moon than have passed through this one location. We all have full life support systems that keep us breathing, warm, and alive despite the fact that the technical considerations and settings are significantly different." Both those who knew Eric Hahn personally and the diving community were tragically saddened by his passing. He was an adventure-loving man, and people will always remember his love of discovering the Earth's interior. His expeditions' knowledge and expertise, as well as the motivation he gave others to follow their own hobbies, will carry on his legacy. We will always remember him as a real explorer who journeyed into unexplored territory and demonstrated to others the beauty of the unknown, even if we grieve his departure. We may pay tribute to him by carrying on his exploration and pushing the envelope of what is conceivable. Eric Hahn, slumber in peace. We appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. If you liked what you saw, click the bell icon, like, and subscribe buttons so you'll be notified when we post another thrilling cave diving story.